Hi, and welcome to our Leadership Assessment and Digital Assessment number 2. I'm Alison and I teach at Apotiki College. I'd just like to introduce the lady to my right, which is Kathleen.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Rayner, working at Apotiki College.
And my lady to my left.
Hi, I'm Kayla Cronin and I also work at Apotiki College.
Welcome to our Digital Leadership Assessment 2.
Right, why did we choose Edpuzzle for Apotiki staff to learn? Because we thought it would be a relevant digital tool for every subject teacher to use. It is easy to use. There are videos on YouTube that are easily accessible that cover just about every area. Edpuzzle, we felt, was a versatile educational tool as you can make your own video or use one already online to suit your purpose. Being able to stop the video at any point to add your relevant question for the students to gain knowledge. The ability to do voiceover so that you can personalise the video to your class's needs was also a bonus. It was up to us to sell it to the staff because we could see the value of it in all our separate subject areas.
Franscosi stated that leadership must become more democratised in order to reflect changes, and by our principal allowing us to deliver our PD session, she was being democratic and sharing the power with our team. She's supportive of change and encourages staff to lead new initiatives to improve the quality of teaching and learning at Apotiki College. We looked at the ways of making our shared vision into reality, as discussed by Hill et al. In 2001, where they just had a flowchart of the strategic planning process. There was just one single outcome, and at the end of the process, we decided this model did not include the opportunity for reflection or modification to take place. We looked for another model to use as a basis for the implementation of Edpuzzle into our kete of strategies used at Apotiki College.
We approached our initiative like a spiral of inquiry. By scanning the staff with our digital ability survey, simply suggested making kinds of transformational change needed to address challenging issues usually means learning new ways of doing things. This fitted in with our findings that none of the staff had used Edpuzzle before. Simply also suggested that this kind of transformational work requires a team, which backed up our idea to work as a group on the initiative. Our team focused on the interaction of Edpuzzles for staff and students of Apotiki College. Our hunch is that we needed to upskill our staff to become digitally fluent and confident users of devices. The new learning for the staff was familiarising themselves with Edpuzzle. We were forced into taking action when the uptake of the staff was very minimal. Throughout the process, we kept data on the staff and students' use of Edpuzzle to see if we've made enough of a difference.
From the start, we used inquiry and worked collaboratively, opening up and working on documents on Google Drive. These were working documents which reflected on through our regular meeting dates, which were placed on Google Calendar. Here we reviewed the progress and developed the where to next. We collected data and discussed the data which turned it into evidence to inform our planning of the next stages. This is a similar approach to that described in the cycle of teacher inquiry posted on TKI.
It was important to do some mahi before the mahi by preparing for our PD session. So we created a timetable together, assigning each other tasks to do to complete to ensure that we are prepared, because proper preparation prevents poor performance.
We decided to do pre-questionnaire together, learning of what the teachers knew. So the knowledge gained from this pre-questionnaire survey was that almost 80% of the teachers who completed the survey had never heard of Edpuzzle. However, the majority of the teachers either use YouTube as an embedded part of their practice or use the resource regularly in their teaching. So from this data, we believe that showing them the resource Edpuzzle would benefit the majority of the staff.
One of our goals was to go about embedding learning practices by using Kmart, Google Classroom, Edpuzzle and YouTube with both staff and students at the college. As previously mentioned, no one in the staff had used Edpuzzle. We recognised the need to use more digital tools to increase the students' learning as well as digital fluency. We worked together to teach ourselves, we practiced with our students, and then we created a full staff PD session. after which we offered small tutorials for those who needed extra assistance. We increased our own ability to work collaboratively. As Mindlab participants, we have been practicing collaborative learning. We now know what it looks like, sounds like, and feels like to be a collaborative learner. So we can now use this to create a structure for our students to be able to do the same thing, for example, rubrics or reflective questioning.
After using Edpuzzle in our classes, we believe that we have moved from substitution, where we can use a video, stop it and ask questions, to augmentation, where we can set the questions and the students can move at their own pace and level of understanding by watching and rewatching the segment to gain the answer to the set question, as in the SAMA model. Maybe the next step would be for the student to make an Edpuzzle themselves to assist in their revision work.
He says they have said that they do not want full staff PD for digital fluency due to the current initiative running into the school, as they are not wanting to overload the staff. However, after our PD, we have been asked to run a similar one for the cold day. We are also encouraging staff to be sharing digital resources that they have tried with each other. From our post surveys, we have decided to look into Chromebook access, as currently there are only one set per department, 25 in a set, which is also hard as most classes have 28 children. The ability for new students to access the Chromebook as soon as possible. We also want to look into a new set of headphones that appear with each hour. The main impact from this experience has been the ability to work with other teachers. This is valuable as we are able to unpack the tools, support each other while learning to use it, and also share our completed resources. From here, we would also like to see staff starting to unpack and implement the digital curriculum.
Our style, according to Goldman, was coaching, as we were attempting to upgrade the staff's skills for the future of digital technology. We were asking staff to try Edpuzzle and develop their self-awareness and digital fluency to enable them to improve and develop their long-term strengths and develop their subject content knowledge. The reason we weren't democratic is because we provided the tool and we provided the space in which to implement it. We did collaborate with the staff to see what digital tool they would prefer to learn and how to use. The reason we are not visionary was because we didn't provide enough time for the staff to become self-confident with the task so that they would be able to go on and either work alone or in pairs to embed this in their practice. Robert Greenleaf, in his article on the servant as leader in 1970, suggested that a leader knows where they're going and points the others in the right direction. This is how I felt when we were asked to deliver a rush PLD session and staff came to see me afterwards to ask for individual help. Teachers like Chris have sought advice, Annie and Renee, and students have used it successfully.
Being responsive to our staff, we decided to move the PD to another day because we had athletics day where everyone was exhausted. This did mean, however, we had given up a 1.5 hour time slot for a 45-minute one. This meant we had to give the staff the task to do in their own time instead of in the PD time as originally planned.
Through informal discussions, we've established the workload is heavy. With the amount of change happening and the different school initiatives competing for PD time, this means staff are not as keen to try new things. According to the PPTA Education Change Management Toolkit, change can be stressful. It has also got costs and benefits. Those costs may outweigh the benefits in the eyes of some staff. Confidence and competency in digital fluency also varies very differently between staff.
A teacher voiced that she would get the same effect from using a video and stopping it from writing a question. So we believe she is at the substitution stage of the SAMA model instead of we believe Edpuzzle to be at the augmented stage. There are several advantages of using Edpuzzle that this teaching is not aware of. The ability for the teacher to set work with students for homework, students to move at their own pace, teachers to be able to monitor their progress as well as to see how many times the students have to watch a segment to get the answer.
We believe that there was not enough time and space for the staff to have implemented initiatives for them to become successfully embedded practices. We are not sure how many of the 17 principles of effective instruction described by Rosenshine in 2012 we managed to hit in the 40-minute PRD session before the staff had to go off and teach for the rest of the day. It would have been better to have had a longer afternoon session so that staff could see how Edpuzzle site worked and would have had time to implement it for their own practice. According to Crippen, 2012, fellowship succeeds as it is mutually reinforced through the webs of relationships. We reflected on this and worried we had not built up a meaningful relationship with staff when introducing Edpuzzle. However, some staff came to see us for some one-on-one tuition at a later date to gain a better understanding of how to prepare a Google Classroom and an Edpuzzle. Crippen also suggests that if there was an opportunity for staff to build on their own strength and recognise their own diversity, so that they could realise that there are areas of improvement where changes in the amount of early majority followed. Students who had used it had various buy-in. They had different feedback. Students who ran into technical problems would give up instead of trying to problem solve and fix it themselves. And as you can see, there was a lot of different feedback. The kids in green is the student feedback from the green, the students in yellow, that's their feedback, and the students in red, that's their feedback.
We realised we needed to identify and support our early adopters and create some urgency. Immediately after the PD session, we could see who'd accessed the Edpuzzle and who was making their own video tasks. For those who were not progressing, we sent out an email reminder with an extension task based on 21st century education, killing two birds with one stone. Firstly, reminding the staff how to use Edpuzzle, and secondly, making them aware of what 21st century education may possibly look like. Once again, the results were not amazing.
We will be trying to identify the best ways to get the early adapters on board and how to create urgency. We're going to try with our own classes and feedback to other staff during informal conversations and schedule meeting times. Hopefully, we'll be able to show student engagement increasing with the use of Edpuzzle. We are considering using Edpuzzle as our classroom inquiry later this year. Word of mouth and evidence-based data are the theme of the Data Builder following.
We feel we've spent considerable amount of time trawling through the research as detailed in our reference list. We have looked at how to implement a successful initiative and had lots of discussions about the degree to which our Edpuzzle was success or a failure, depending on who you asked. With hindsight, we would have liked to have spent more time promoting the site and getting the teachers involved in independent practice by building their own Edpuzzles for their own classes. We've reflected on how we asked the teachers to work on their own Edpuzzle and have thought that if we had said to them work within departments, they would have worked collaboratively on the Edpuzzle and then implemented this with their students, and that would have been more successful. Also, there was no department time for teachers who felt unclear or unable to complete an Edpuzzle to be able to work together cooperatively and collaboratively. There is still time for us to be coaching leaders and to keep promoting and supporting our staff in their journey to full digital fluency.
Our next steps is to run a learning inquiry with our own classes. This will involve trialling digital tools like Edpuzzle, Google Tool Builder, and other apps that we've learned through the Mindlab learnings. We're going to try and iron out the problem before rolling it out to the whole school next year. Currently, all the PRD sessions for 2018 are already spoken for, so there's no room in our calendar for our group to run any further sessions for the whole school. However, we plan to grow our followers with group work with other staff and work on a need-to-know basis or a want-to-learn basis.
Thank you for listening to us. You'll have to quickly pause, screenshot and have a look at our references because we are running out of time. We really appreciate your patience and thank you very much. Cheers then. Bye.